Hello, my name is Virbom and welcome to my playthrough as Poland, or maybe I should say the survival challenge as Poland on elite difficulty level. By survival challenge I mean we will of course not yield the Danzig to Germans, so we will fight with the Axis, and if Soviet Union will decide to try to backstab us, we'll of course go to war with them as well. So as I mentioned, it's elite difficulty level, and I will quickly take a look at what the elite difficulty level gives. It lowers our production efficiency cap by 30%, so as at the start we'll go from 50 to 20%, which is hefty industrial penalty. Also we will have research time increased by 20% and political power gain lowered by 30%. We'll of course play on Iron Man mode, and historical AI focuses on. So let's start. Let's call it Poland Elite Survival Challenge because reasons. And now let's go. So we will of course take care of our lovely country first by addressing each of the alerts on the top, but first let's take a look at our national focus, and we will start with strengthen the Polish state. So now, if you are familiar, for example, how the game plays on the regular difficulty level or any other, so you will notice at first that we only are gaining 0.4.3 political power per day, as long as we are running national focus. So this penalty is extremely big, so it means basically we gain almost twice. I mean, on regular difficulty level, everyone else will be getting at least twice, if not more, political power points per day. So we will be extremely limited when it comes to political decisions, so filling the cabinet, changing the laws, conscription laws, and so on. So we will be extremely limited on that front. Next, let's take a look at the research. We have 20% increase to research time, so it means that anything, for example, like support weapon, CKM wzór 25 and moździerz wzór 18, so those, instead of researching 150 days, will have increase of 30 days to the research time, so it will also be quite the penalty. We'll go for electronic mechanical engineering, of course, and as usual, basic machine tools and construction. Thankfully, construction speed is not penalized on the elite difficulty level. So let's go now for the construction. And we will start by building loads and loads of military factories. And now let's deal with our production line. Unfortunately, we'll have basically no production capability until very late to produce Air Force, so we will cancel the fighter line, and I will just basically put everything we can on rifles. And basically the idea is to go and have as many factories producing rifles early on, and then later we will be able to think about some luxury like artillery or support equipment. I will have some support equipment at the start of the game producing, just because we can. So we'll at least have some support equipment when it comes to later. And as you can see, with 8 factories with full efficiency cap, I mean full current efficiency, or close to full efficiency cap, we are only producing 17.4 infantry weapon kits per day. It is extremely low amount, and well, until we research some efficiency cap technologies, we will have basically very little industrial capacity. So now let's take care of our army. We will divide them into 2 armies and attach them all to one army group. And of course I will also make so that our units will be cavalry. We'll change this to the Brigada Cavalry template, which is basically only cavalry with recon company, and it will be shown why exactly I'm doing this later. So now we can just enjoy and run the full speed And, well, I will want to at least train 8 more divisions, so I will fill these 2 armies to maximum. And, well, later we will see. Now let's make a line and prepare here. And also, let's put second army in here. We will basically want to attack Lithuania and Latvia later, because they will have hefty infantry equipment stockpile, and also will provide us with some factories, and we'll also get the option to reform Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, which will give us the extra cores on some territory, including the Ostpreußen, which will be very, very useful for us. And now let's assign here. We will want to use as our main Field Marshal the Władysław Bortnowski, mainly because he starts with the Furrow Planner, which is excellent trait, at least the starting one. And here we will attach Władysław Anders, and here we will use the Roman Abraham, because they are highest leveled skilled generals in our army so far. So with those divisions slowly being raised, and let's see, we are also slowly building our industrial capacity. Now we have finished the strengthen the Polish state, and we will use the first our political power option to switch to partial mobilization, mainly because not only it will give us more civilian factories to construct military factories, and also we'll be able to construct them much faster. So this is one of the choices that is like no-brainer in my opinion. Now we will go for the defensive focus, because it will give us national spirit deterrence, which grants us extra 20% of the military factory construction speed. It is also pretty goddamn useful. So yeah, and well, and now we are producing slightly more factories, and we are also, this is one of the bigger problems for us, because as you can see, the closer we are to the maximum production efficiency cap, the slower we are gaining production efficiency. So each new factory, it will lower our production efficiency by a little bit, and as such we are not gaining so much of the efficiency per day. We are barely making any difference per day when it comes to how many rifles we are producing. So we have finished electronic mechanical engineering, and now let's proceed with mechanical computing. We want to basically deal with the lower as much as possible this research time penalty as much as possible. So yeah. So after defensive focus, we will go for the Polish militarism, and we will try to use the experience gained from it in a good way, let's say. And yeah, now, and of course we'll not only get the experience, but also more population and war support, which is nice. I mean, the war support, for now, it doesn't give us anything. And now let's do something that I forgot to do earlier. So now we will basically promote every single one of our generals to the field marshals. It's good to let you know, people, if you are watching this, of course, there is no downside from promoting every single general to the field marshal, at least during the peacetime, because when you promote them to the field marshals, all you get is temporary -1 to all stats for 90 days or 100 days, I don't remember, and well, and also they get extra trait slots. So if he would be general, he would only have 2 traits to assign from this assigned trait category, so adaptable and so on. So now we will have 3, and of course they will be able to assume the command over the army group, which is also useful. Now we have research basic machine tools, and now it's the question, what do we want? And well, let's go with the concentrated industry for now. So now we can finally have at least some half decent production efficiency. Now we can see every single day we are gaining acceptable amount of the efficiency, and now we are producing decent amount of rifles. As I mentioned, rifles will be very, very important for us. We basically want to have very, very big stockpile of arms before we will deal with Germans. Otherwise, well, we will fold like there is no day tomorrow. My goal is to have at least 120 divisions for the base army group, and then have some spare divisions, so they will be like placed here and here and here, so they will be able to at least reinforce whatever the situation will be looking like there is a chance that the Germans will break through actually. So with Polish militarism we can go now for either Polish revanchism or Poland first, or we could go even for the 4-year plan. However, I will try to go for the Poland first now, because it gives extra stability, which means slightly higher factory output and also slightly higher political power gain, which is always useful. And now let's deal with our Brigada of Cavalry. Brigada Cavalry. We will remove the recon unit. It is definitely not worth it for now to stick it. It costs too much support equipment, and also it basically will mean that during the fight here, if we would like to fight with Lithuanians, we will lose the valuable support equipment, and also it will be now much harder to just deploy new divisions if we will have the requirement of having support equipment in division. So now with the construction level 1 finally finished, I will go now for the improved machine tools, mainly because I just want to get the as high production efficiency as possible, and as soon of course. So now, as much as I would like to use some of those decisions, we have definitely, we don't have any spare political power points to just spend them on those decisions. We will be extremely limited with our decisions. Later on we'll want to get at least one or two conscription law changes. So first to, of course, to limited, and then later to extensive, and get here the Zygmunt Pochusz Szyszko, which is the infantry expert, and also to assign here Anders, which will give the cavalry attack and cavalry defense to our army. Okay, and now we have our, let's say, first army prepared, or at least first two armies. As we can see, after our change to the template, we basically don't have any spare infantry equipment, which is a little bit of not good news. But well, we will try. Okay, so let's see. The Republican Spain seems to be doing not that great. So maybe I will just go for the Polish revanchism. Maybe if the war would end pretty soon, maybe the actual world tension will skyrocket, and we'll be able to justify war on Lithuania earlier, which would be pretty interesting to see. But so far, it seems like the Spanish Civil War is still not decided, at least yet. So, yeah, our research for now is basically done. We are slowly building our equipment production lines. I will also do something like that. Okay, and we have now more steel needed, so now I will trade with France for steel. I don't want to trade with Soviet Union because I don't want to, of course, strengthen our eastern enemy or threat to us, and of course the same goes again when it comes to Germany. So France as the ally seems the Western ally seems the most reasonable country to support with our one civilian factory. So we can now choose between joining the anti-Comintern Pact or refusing. There is like basically, I don't think this will make any difference, so let's refuse. And now I will go for ideological fanaticism to get extra stability. Extra stability is always nice. So now we are producing a number of rifles that is seems okay, but considering that we are using only, I mean, we are using 14 factories, it is very low amount of rifle production. But well, that's what you get on elite difficulty level. So now there will be basically nothing happening for quite some time, unless there will be the war will end one way or another. But it seems actually Republicans seem to be doing not so bad right now. Army sizes is definitely advantage on the nationalist side, but actually the losses on the nationalist side is slightly bigger. With concentrated industry and mechanical computing done, we can now continue with our research. Of course, we'll go for concentrated industry and construction too. Oh boy, it's 200 days to just get some basic stuff done. It's very harsh, let's say. So yeah, if the war will go either way, and that's very much possible, and we will go for the 4-year plan. We have basically choice between going this route or this, but this will provide us the additional research slot, while usually the additional research slot would not be so important on elite difficulty because we have the expanded slower research time. It's basically very important to be able to at least research a few things at the same time. So now I will start researching the Grand Battle Plan. We will of course stick to the Grand Battle Plan because for what I will want to use in my, let's say, army build, which will mainly use the cavalry or the cavalry infantry mix, so we'll have at least some cheaper, let's say, build, because infantry will still kinda count as cavalry for what we need, and they will lower slightly the industrial cost of our divisions, and they will also be slightly they will benefit from doctrines and technologies slightly better. So that's another advantage of having like mixed division consisting of cavalry and infantry. So that's what we will use. So let's see. Oh my god, actually it looks like the Republicans are wow, they're actually doing pretty good job. Small pocket here. Separation of northern and south. If it's quite okay, here they are also pocketed, but they have reached the Bilbao, which is pretty good move for them, so they'll at least have some supplies. And we have finished 4-year plan. So now we will go, and that's a good question. Basically, I always forget that I should, for example, now do it something like that. So finish the voivodeship Silesia 1 factory, and then go for the Warsaw factory, mainly because it will be slightly faster. It's 10% faster because it's 1 point of infrastructure here higher. But yeah, it seems that no matter what, probably we'll get over 10% of world tension with usual China, the second Sino-Japanese war, which will happen in the July of 37, so 1-2 months ahead. I mean, not ahead, but yeah. So another small pocket here. I don't know if but I think they have actually eliminated. Just basically, nationalists managed to push here once again, and yeah, here there was this pocket eliminated. They control now Coruna. Bilbao seems to be actually so those Republican forces must have been destroyed there. Now here there is in Burgos. There was Burgos pocket. So yeah, basically it seems that Republicans will win the war. When it comes to the casualties, yeah, nationalist Spain is dead. So yeah, that was it, and well, no world tension whatsoever. So now what we will do is justify war goal against Lithuania. And I have forgot to import more steel, so unfortunately our weapon production is slightly okay. So we will right now wait a few days to see how the war tension will skyrocket, and then we will justify on Lithuania. Okay, it's 14%, so maybe it will give us some discount, maybe not. And we will, despite what I said, because we will be going, of course, for Latvia as well, we will just right now justify only on Lithuania, because when we will declare on Lithuania, then we will, after conquering Lithuania, we'll be able to reform Polish to a Commonwealth, and it will give us cores here on Kuzeme and Widzeme. So we'll be able to use very cheap and very quick war justification to retake core states, which will be because considering that we have very low amount of political power, every political power saved is worth it. And if I would like now to justify with standard conquer, it would cost me not only 50 political power, but I would need also to wait 285 days. So yeah, mainly the reason I don't want to do this, because it will cost extra political power. So now nothing interesting will change. I could consider slightly training our divisions, mainly to get a little bit more of army experience, but the problem is we will see actually how much equipment we are losing from attrition. It's 172, and yeah, considering it gives us around 14, we are wasting 14-15 rifles daily on that. We can at least run it for like to have 5 experience points. Now let's go for the construction. I think it is of course very much ahead of time, or we could go for support weapons, and also we could go for radios, because those are very useful technology. Basically, if you want to the radio is one of the most important tags in the game, because the reinforce rate of 5% can literally just save your 3 letters, which means basically your posterior. It's four letters in my in Polish language, because as in Polish it's 4 letters. Okay, so now let's get the 5 experience points, slightly bump up our training level of those divisions, and after that we will start to consider, like, we'll change these templates. I will want to add at least 1 more cavalry here, and later, as we will get experience from Lithuania and Latvia, which I should add, Latvia will be basically something like testing ground for our weapons, let's say, or weapons and our units. Okay, now we have loads of factory slots here in Warsaw, so I will definitely want to build here now, and later we will see probably like Kielce and Łódź. And we have once again running out of steel, and well, I think I will want to have something like that planned, so more support equipment finally, and have finally some artillery. The reason is why, because as long as we will have rifles to equip our army, we are in more or less good spot. Support equipment for engineer companies will be extremely valuable, and artillery is just extra luxury, which will not have enough. So please just get 5 experience points, please, please, please. And we will later need we will later need, of course, much more experience, but we will have more than enough experience from Latvia, because we will be running some pretty funny stuff. Okay, so experience is increasing daily. We can use, and just basically whenever we'll be on 5 experience points, I will just stop training those troops. Okay, and now let's increase our cavalry divisions to the size I want, and I will start recruiting the first the next army, let's say. So we will finish fabrication of our wall go against Lithuania in 28th of February, 38. So we still have some time before the war will start, and probably I will just cut the episode when we will be declaring war on Lithuania, and then we will continue from episode 2 with our war against Lithuania, and probably our small testing ground of Latvia. So yeah, that will be pretty interesting what we'll be able to achieve. And we have finished the grand battle plan, which is nice. So I will go right now for the prepared defense, and then we shall see what will be the next choice. Okay, so the Anschluss of Austria happened. It's 28% of the world tension, and now we can start researching the computing machine. And well, I will go for developing Upper Silesia, because it will give me extra civilian factory, and civilian factories are very important to get our military factories faster. So, with approaching 30-minute mark and basically being able to declare war on Lithuania right now, I think it's a good time to just end the episode right here. So, thanks for watching, and of course, next episode will arrive soon on the channel, and I hope you will enjoy this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, farewell.